Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing you don't actually have a choice. You have to go to work, you have to answer emails, you have to pay bills, you have to keep saying yes. Even when every part of you wants to say no, most people believe that's just adulthood. But what if it isn't? What if the real difference between feeling trapped and feeling free has nothing to do with how much money you make? Imagine two people. The first earns $200,000 a year, drives a luxury SUV, lives in a beautiful house, has expensive vacations, designer clothes, a successful career. From the outside, everyone wants their life, but every month, almost every dollar is already spoken for. A massive mortgage, car payments, private school tuition, credit cards, a lifestyle that quietly became a prison. Now imagine someone else. They earn less, drive an ordinary car, live below their means, have savings, no unnecessary debt, several income streams, and enough financial breathing room to walk away from a bad job tomorrow, if they had to. Who is actually richer? The answer surprises most people, because wealth isn't measured by what you own, it's measured by the number of choices you have. We've been taught to believe money buys things: a bigger house, a faster car, a nicer watch, a better vacation. But the people who quietly build lasting wealth think very differently. They don't see money as something to spend. They see it as something that buys options. The option to leave a toxic workplace, the option to spend more time with family, the option to start a business, the option to take a year off, the option to say no without fear. That's a completely different way of thinking. Naval Ravikant once said something remarkably simple: money isn't about buying fancy things, it's about buying freedom. At first, that sounds inspiring. But if we look deeper, freedom isn't actually what money buys. Money buys options, and options create freedom. There's an important difference. Freedom isn't something you purchase one day. It's something you slowly build, decision by decision, dollar by dollar, year by year. Think about Warren Buffett. People often admire his billions, but that's not what makes him extraordinary. His greatest asset isn't Berkshire Hathaway, it isn't his stock portfolio. It's that almost nobody can force Warren Buffett to do anything he doesn't want to do. He doesn't need another paycheck. He doesn't need another promotion. He doesn't need anyone's approval. That's what real wealth looks like. Not luxury, not status, not attention, choice. Now here's something most people never notice. Every financial decision either creates more options or quietly destroys them. Buying a bigger house might impress your neighbors, but it may also lock you into another 20 years of financial pressure. Taking on unnecessary debt might buy temporary happiness, but it often sells away future choices. Lifestyle inflation is dangerous for one simple reason. Every new monthly payment quietly reduces your freedom. That's why so many high earners still feel trapped. They earn more, spend more, need more, and somehow have fewer choices than before. The tragedy isn't that they don't make enough money. The tragedy is that every raise makes their life less flexible, not more. Now let's flip the question. Instead of asking, "How can I become richer?" ask something much more powerful. What decision today will give me more choices 5 years from now? Because that's how optionality is built. Quietly, patiently, almost invisibly. And that's exactly where most people stop paying attention, because the greatest investments rarely look exciting while they're happening. Here's the paradox. The people with the most options often look like they have the least. Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, could have driven any car in the world. Instead, he drove an old pickup truck. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought more than 60 years ago. Why? Because they understood something most people never do. Every dollar you don't have to spend today can buy a decision tomorrow. Real wealth isn't visible, it's hidden inside your future choices. Morgan Housel once wrote that the highest form of wealth is waking up every morning and being able to say, I can do whatever I want today. Notice, he didn't say, buy whatever you want. He said, do whatever you want. There's a difference. One is consumption, the other is freedom. Jeff Bezos left a comfortable job, not because he was already financially free, but because he created enough options to take the risk. Ray Dalio survived devastating failures because he built systems that gave him another chance. Jensen Huang spent decades building NVIDIA. Long before the world understood what he was building, none of them were chasing money. They were building optionality. And here's something fascinating. Optionality doesn't only come from money, it comes from skills, from your reputation, from your health, from relationships, from knowledge. Imagine two people who both lose their jobs tomorrow. One panics immediately. Bills are due, savings are gone, there are no alternatives. The other takes a deep breath. They've built valuable skills, maintained strong relationships, saved consistently, kept their expenses low. They don't know exactly what comes next, but they know they have options. That's real security, not certainty. Options. So how do you actually build them? First, spend less than you earn, not because saving money is exciting, but because every dollar saved buys a little more freedom. Second, build skills that nobody can take away. Jobs disappear, industries change, technology evolves, but valuable skills travel with you. Third, create more than one source of income. A salary is important, but it's only one door. The more doors you build, the more choices you'll have. Fourth, protect your health, because time without health isn't freedom. And finally, learn to want less. This may be the hardest lesson of all, because the world constantly tells us to upgrade, buy bigger, earn more, own more. But every unnecessary desire comes with an invisible price. Sometimes, the fastest way to become richer isn't earning more, it's needing less. That's the secret. The richest people don't spend their entire lives trying to impress strangers. They spend their lives building choices their future selves will be grateful for. Maybe that's why the optional life was never really about money. Money is only the tool. The destination has always been freedom, not the freedom to buy everything, but the freedom to choose, to walk away, to slow down, to spend an afternoon with the people you love, to say no without fear, to say yes only to the things that truly matter. Because at the end of your life, no one will ask how expensive your car was or how impressive your job title sounded, but you'll ask yourself a much quieter question. Did I build a life that gave me the freedom to choose? Because the richest people don't buy freedom, they build options. One decision, one habit, one investment at a time. And that's another step toward building the optional life.